Ooh, I got something real good for you. Gotta download. You can do this too. Everything's in the quantum field and we have access to it. It's a choice. You ready for this? I have something in regards to the Great Reset. They're giving it all kinds of other names. I want to tell you what it is, in my opinion. We can relabel it if you'd like, but I want to tell you the really awesome part about the Great Reset that I'm talking about. And you need not be afraid. There's nothing coming after us. We're the majority. Hello. You ready for this? This is super cool. I'm going to tell you exactly why you should get excited about it. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I'm growing my hair out. You know, I just get bored easily, right? Are you an entrepreneur? Right? We have 101 things going on at one time. Well, there's some change coming, and it's good change. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why you should shut down this conspiracy theory stuff and you know, the words they use. These are actually planted out there for you to go into fear and then go into opposition, and that keeps working. There's some enemies out there in the cabal. Shut your pie hole. What? Yes, shut your pie hole. No, I'm not losing it. I just want to have a little bit of fun because we just don't laugh enough, do we? Are you ready to join me? I'm going to tell you what the Great Reset is. Now, I've heard some other names for it, because some people think, oh my gosh, I better give it another name because it's gotten this bad connotation because higher ups have decided they're going to use this opportunity to reset everything. But here's why you should get excited. You ready for this? It's because we're going to go into the awakening of the structures, the consciousness of the structures. There will always be people and individuals in there making different decisions. Somebody got really upset with me. You said that there's no difference between evil and good. I said, no, I didn't say there wasn't a difference. There's a huge difference. There are different frequencies. What I'm telling you is we're not to judge it because it's still a journey. And of course we want to choose enlightenment and good stuff. But they said, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm like, why'd you tell me? Just unsubscribe if I'm not for you. But I guarantee you, you come to my channel, I'm going to tell you all the really great things going on. This is one of them. Now, what is the Great Reset? In my opinion, the Great Reset is not what other people in certain places, in certain, meetings and conferences are deciding. It's what we're actually doing as a collective in addition to some of those decisions. And I'll tell you why. Not everybody in those positions are evil, bad people. Some of them actually really care, and there are many. I talked to you about there's a light council doing some things that we don't know about because they have to remain anonymous, and they're doing amazing things. I promise you that, okay? So they're planted in all kinds of places. Of course, it's not just black or white. We're filtered everywhere. We got our little fingers going everywhere and planting. I call it the Jedi mind trick. Right? Come on over. I've got a new course. I actually teach you the Jedi mind trick, and it's not the one that you see in Star Wars quite like that. What do? We plant. We plant things via our own thoughts and beliefs and love. Because if you try to do things to change people, I'm going to get you to change. You didn't think the way I wanted you to. I didn't like what you said. Unsubscribe. Well, no. What if I just said, hey, listen, I'm going to play some love and say, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and maybe I don't agree. But how am I going to affect change? By being an example of light and love. Not demonstrating all the evil things everybody else has done 100 years ago. Yeah, talk to the hand. What are we going to do right now? We have to be the demonstration. So what's happening is the frequency of the planet is going up. We are going into consciousness. It's not going to be the majority of people as of now, but that is totally possible. Everything's possible. No one can know the time or day. Neither the angels, the sun, right? but only the Father knows. Who's the Father? The one source of everything. Why? How can no one know what the final outcome is? Because we're creating it at every moment. So we can change any time. It is not set in stone. It's not a destiny. The Great Reset is we are making decisions to go into community, rejecting all the garbage that we have been given to put in our bodies, told that that's what we should do. We're not eating the garbage that we're told we should eat. Stop the fast food stuff. I'm sorry, it's an addiction. You're going to have to give it up. It's really bad for you. Just be honest. Let's be really honest. Loaded with chemicals and sugar. Here in the United States, why do you think everybody has a weight issue? They can't get rid of it. Loaded with chemicals and sugar. You know, Europeans, Italians, they won't even import our stuff because it's so toxic. We are conditioned to be okay with that. We're now making different decisions going to consciousness. Wait a minute. What's in here? Wait a minute. Plastic? We're getting completely away from plastic. By the way, I'm going to give you recommendations on every video. I'm going to give you one thing that you can do to get away with all this stuff. All right? Get away from it. It's happening. Let's clean up the beaches. Let's clean up the oceans. Let's stop putting stuff in. Somebody said, if we do a meditation or an affirmation, it'll clean it up. I said, no. If we get our butts out there and pick stuff up off the beach, that'll do it. And stop using stuff that we're washing into our systems, like chemicals. This is what's happening right now. So that Great Reset, here's how awakening works. When you go in an awakened state, some of you are in this, you don't have emotions like this. Oh, I have a new car, great relationship, I'm awakened, I'm enlightened, world is wonderful. Oh, they broke up with me, I lost the car. Dark night of the soul. And then, oh, I got a great job again, a new relationship. And you spend your whole life doing this, right? Because it's based on the material world out there that you believe is happening to you. You participate in it, but you still don't feel like you're creating it. When you go in an awakened state, you realize you're creating it. So you start to create all of it. So you are up here in a higher frequency. So you're in a more joyous state pretty much all the time. And you're still human. You still have the emotions. You still have all this stuff, but you deal with it differently. And your emotions are like this, right? That's the Great Reset. So instead of us doing, we're all having money and we're making the stock market and the lottery and all this stuff, material world, everything is great. And then pandemic, oh, this is horrible. And then we go into all this other, blaming each other and the conspiracy theories. It's not real, it is real. Get this, don't get this. And it gets insane, right? And that's this. All right, now it's going to be the finances. Now, all these other things, and of course, things that are being done to other people, horrific. But do you notice? The majority of people on this planet are saying, we no longer accept that kind of physical intrusion for somebody's ego. It's not even necessary anymore. We should never, ever go into a state of conflict, ever. There's no reason for it anymore, with individuals or with countries. Ever. So what's happening with us right now? We're going into the higher frequency that is not overreacting and saying, okay, we got to get some solutions here. We have to make some changes. So the Great Reset will be, this is not to be feared, instead of this great wealth and poverty, it's going to be everybody's going to have abundance. And we're going to do this. We won't go through the big swings financially and with our health or anything, because we're making higher choices to eliminate the stuff that has not worked for us, that's really bad, that we haven't mastered. We're mastering it. We're going into self-healing, holistic, natural plants. We're not okaying any kind of violation on animals. Even if you eat meat, you should know where it's coming from. It's very dense. And if there's fear in that, you're eating it. Yes, you're eating fear. It's an energy field. That's quantum physics. All right, so what do we want to do? We have to make higher choices. We're conscious. So the great new era that's coming into place, let's just call it the great new era. I like that one. I'll relabel it. Is really us resetting our consciousness into that, I should say, from unconsciousness to consciousness in every area of our lives. So we're resetting how our finances work, how our energy works. And what does that do? And how are we violating the planet with that? We have to reset it. We have to recalibrate everything on a higher frequency. So now we don't have, oh, we're all great and having all this fun. Oh, by the way, our planet is being destroyed right now. So instead, we're saying, okay, we're caring about the planet. And so the damage we do is going to be minimal now. Okay, finances, we're not, stocks and bonds. Hey, listen, I was a former investment banker. I always said, you know what stocks and everything's based on? Emotions. I call it the emotional market. You want to tank a stock? Spread a rumor. I mean, this is ridiculous. Should never work that way, right? And so it's not a fair place. It's not a fair playing field. But we're going to go into a fair playing field, and a lot of people don't like that idea. They think it's another form of government or whatever that keeps everybody as little robots. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about up here on the consciousness where abundance flows and there's so much that you can have and do, so you're not going to have to need it or want it anymore because you're going to be in a higher conscious state too. So the material world is not the be-all, end-all, so you don't require it anymore to do this. And even if you go into relationships, you get, the euphoria from it, but it doesn't define you, and you'll stop wanting something from that person to make me happy. Make me happy, love me. All right, there'll be sadness, there'll be loss, there'll be all kinds of stuff. It's still part of our learning and challenges. So if you haven't been through certain things, you might have to go through to experience it as a human. That's why we came here, to experience the human emotions that a lot of actually extraterrestrials don't have anymore. They don't need them. The emotions cannot be, it can really work against us, So this is all really positive, cool stuff. It's getting really dark out there. I got a storm coming in. And I see it as the recalibration of all the systems on a higher consciousness. In other words, so now we'll have healthcare and we will have some illnesses, but now we will have solutions that are natural on a higher frequency. So we're not doing this, right? We're not going to have the global, illnesses going on anymore. Same thing with, we're saying, how can we allow somebody to come in and violently take over something? It makes no sense at all. And we're all seeing that. And we, instead of reacting and participating in the same manner, we're stepping back and saying, this is not acceptable on any level. And if for us to go in and do that would be even worse, because it will solve nothing. In fact, that would be an excuse for the other team, to come in and take us out, all right? So we don't want to go into that same old struggle that we've been in. We want to go into higher consciousness and say, there's another way to handle all of this. And say, what did I say? Zero tolerance and zero participation. We don't tolerate it. We solve the problems and the issues. We become the change, the demonstration of positive change, not the you need to do something different kind of change. That was the old way of doing things. The new way, the new reset, new consciousness is we're going to be the demonstration. We're going to do it in numbers. Because if you're in numbers, like, no one can participate if the numbers go on a high frequency and don't participate in certain things and have solutions to the whatever it is the egos are trying to accomplish. And we don't participate in whatever it is that's fueling it, okay? That's the new reset. That's the great reset. We're resetting, recalibrating consciousness in every possible way. And like I said, our health and everything. How's it been working? Not very well, right? How can we do this over here? Well, we can heal ourselves, and we've seen people do it over and over. There was somebody who used to do that. Oh, that's right, Christ. And he said he couldn't heal everybody. Why? Because you had to believe. And he couldn't overstep the free will choices of that person. Ah, you mean we get our own free will choices? Yes, we do. So if you're there to learn something from the illness, maybe you are helping somebody else learn how to put others first and care for them. And they are going into this really different kind of lifestyle because of your illness. And so in advance, there are agreements where we say, okay, I'm going to help you to accomplish your goal in your lifetime, to put aside your, ego-based, whatever you might have been in, to actually give up and love me anyways, and not feel resentful and all these. There's so many lessons and all this stuff, right? It's not bad. That's why, when people get upset with me for saying, I say it all has purpose. Oh, it shouldn't be. Well, if it's bad and evil, it's because we're doing it. Nobody's doing it. God doesn't approve. No. Who do you think made those people? And they are unconditionally loved like we are. So we can't start pointing fingers. Again, be the demonstration. So we are now affecting everything on a highly conscious level, and every area, from health to finance to everything else, how we treat each other, the dividing lines, the separation. I mean, if you lined up like 5 people from completely different countries with completely different cultures and colors and they would look like aliens. If somebody came here, they would look, like E.T. kind of things, as far as like they might look like they all come from different planets, but we're all still human. If somebody landed here and saw us, would they go, wait a minute, you guys look nothing alike. Okay, you have arms and legs and whatever, so do, grays or whatever. But that's how we look, and we treat each other that way, as separate, entities. But we're one. We are one humanity, and we have to start acting like that. You are not separate, and there's no blame, and whatever history you're pissed off about right now, you need to get over it. Oh my gosh, this is a spiritual butt kick. I haven't done one of those in a while. Why do I spiritually butt kick you? Come on. You know. We're amazing. We're all beautiful. Every single one of us. We're created by the one, and we are the one, and every decision you make is creating that out there. Let's go into that new consciousness, that new era, the golden era. Let's reset everything and go into everything as the demonstration of the peace and the love. And the evil that you see, instead of condemning it and saying somebody should change, say, I don't understand their journey. I can't, as a human being. But I know that it serves a purpose, and if I'm to facilitate the positive change, I must be the demonstration and be there for them, including your thoughts, your prayers. Those are most powerful. Let's do that right now. You guys, I have Tap Into Your Powers coming out in April 2022. I teach you how to use your power, including the Jedi Mind Trick and many other things. And it's not really a trick. It's actually something very cool I think you'll love, that of course always comes from the highest frequency of love and peace. And then Breakthrough Fear is out there. If you go down in the description, you guys, there's a description down there with links. You can get some free videos from me. If you want to create your own business online, if you want to start to get some power and control of your life and earn your own money in a very positive way, you can own your own business. I'm not talking about some selling ebooks, so you could do that too, but I'm talking about any kind of business. This is free videos telling you how this works and how many things you can do online, and then there is training that you can get involved in that's amazing. I've been in it for 7 years. It's why I'm sitting here in front of you. No more blah, 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 blah. You know what? If it's not for you, bye, go. You don't have to, somebody doesn't have to be wrong for you to be right, And you can have your opinion. Somebody can say, I didn't like your video or whatever, but it doesn't make me wrong, and they're not wrong either. I respect your opinion. I welcome it, but I don't have to be wrong, and neither does anybody else out there. Say that's just how they see reality. That's just how it is, and let us be friends. Can we please be friends and love one another? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful. Please subscribe. Loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.